So, Carol and the kids are upset with me because I put ginger in their curry. Well, they really love that cat. I think, actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it there. That was it. I got a
Not the
genuine...
darkest timeline. Not the darkest timeline.
I'm going to leave that there. I feel like I've done well there. I can just go out on a high. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Black Dog 204, I think. Yes, I'm going to say 204. Fuck it. If it's not, it's 205. Who cares? Who cares anymore? Facts are flexible. Things don't matter. I'm drunk. I don't care. Anyway, I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Elton.
And this week we will be catching... Oh, I'm going into the accent. We will be...
Straight up! Come on!
Come on then, you fucking melts. Well, let's fucking have it. One all together, one at a time. I don't fucking mind. Anyway, yes. So, anyway, putting my top hat monkey hat on. Yes. Yes, we'll see how everyone's week's been. And then we will be seeing if there's any feedback for last week's episode. And then we'll move on to any questions. And then we'll move on to this week's movie, which is your pick, Elton, which was?
The Football Factory.
The Football Factory. The fucking Football Factory, which doesn't have football or factories in it. So make of that what you will.
Very disappointed. I was hoping for like an Indian sweatshop. But alas... it was not that way.
I was waiting for Greg Wallace to turn up and tell me how footballs were made. I spent 6 hours waiting for that cunt to turn up. No, not one single football, not a single one. Didn't even tell me how to blow them up. Bastard. Anyway. So, let's find out how everyone's week's been. And let's start with you, Jim. How's it been, sir?
A bit up and a bit down, shall we say.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure how much detail I want to go into this, but I'll see how I feel.
Yes.
On the upside, I made some pita bread this week using an internet recipe, which is always a gamble.
Yes.
As people who write internet recipes, for a start, they seem to want to have to tell you their life fucking story before actually just giving you the recipe. Making you scroll past 1,500 bloody ads.
Right, yes.
But also I've noticed, and you have to be very, very careful of them, because some people clearly can't measure their stuff for shit. And you're sort of right, use this much flour, then you find actually you need twice as much flour.
Yes.
Which was the case with the recipe I used, because it's quite a basic pita bread recipe: yogurt, olive oil, and flour, and a bit of salt. Simples.
Yes. Does the job.
But yeah, the flour amount wasn't, of course, right.
No.
I think I used twice as much as actually stated. But I think, I got a good bready dough. And, made 8 lovely pita breads and did them in the air fryer. 3 minutes, boom, golden brown, perfect.
Jobs are good.
So we've now got a big bread bag full of pita breads in it for our lunch this week, and they've been bloody lovely.
Nice.
Makes the ones you buy in the store taste like they've been run over.
Nice. So can I ask a question? Did you make them in your air fryer?
I did, yes. But with this recipe,
Well done,
you can do
Jim.
them in the oven, or you can do them actually in like a frying pan on your hob top.
On your hob top?
On your hob top. Yes, that's right. I probably wouldn't recommend that, but hey, that's the beauty of it. You can do it. Whatever you've got to heat them up, bar a microwave, you can use it basically for pizza bread. Very simple recipe, and I say it tastes so much better than the store-bought stuff. Unbelievable.
Okay.
It's about half an hour. That's pretty good. And most of that was just having a conveyor belt. Just like, put a couple in, 4 minutes, boom, golden brown, out you come. Another couple in, bang, bang. Sorted.
Nice. Lovely. And
I've been very pleased with them.
And I'm especially pleased by the use of the word hob top.
Hob top, yes.
Hob top. I like that. I don't know why. It's just appealing to me. How's your hob top?
Subliminal connection to a hobnob.
Hobnob, yes. What's it? Isn't it Blackadder? Yeah. What is it? What's your name? Bob. Hobnob. Bob. Anyway, sorry. Carry on, Jim.
Send us that recipe, Jim.
Oh,
I will. I'm going to have to do a page for my special recipes.
I think
Yes,
you
I
will.
will do. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Or rather, I'll do it when I refine it next time when I get the flour amount perfect and I know what it is.
nice.
It was a case
Hypnagogia
of- I did-
Towers
I
does
did-
need a kitchen, you know.
Well, yeah, if you go into YouTube for the next cooking sensation, you can marvel how filthy everything is and how cluttered.
Pythagoria.
Oh, there you go.
Hey.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That
Go on.
takes care of the 3 hours that you would have had for sleep there, Jim. That's at no time whatsoever for anything apart from podcasting now.
Pretty much.
Mm. Anyway, yes. Anything else, sir?
All right, bollocks to it. I'm gonna go for it. This isn't pleasant, but it is funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, long story short, without being overly graphic, over Christmas,
Mm.
I had just been to do my business, and
Mm.
there was red spots in it,
Oh no.
and I thought,
Oh,
oh, well, I had tomatoes yesterday. That's probably it. Next
Mhm.
day, nope.
No.
So
Is it sellotape? Because you swallow quite a lot of sellotape making parcels.
I don't. I'm good at making parcels. I know not to eat them.
I was going to say, we might need to bring that up with you in a minute, Elton, but
I suspect there's a story there.
yes, I do too.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on, Jim. Sorry.
But anyhow, I thought he's gone a couple of, all right, you know, you can't stick your head in your sand about this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is partly why I'm bringing it up, just to, you know, demystify it. Okay, anyone else is like that. If you get anything like that, blood in your poo, go to see your fucking doctor.
Yes.
Anyhow, because obviously this happened over Christmas when they're all shut. So I only actually got an appointment like the other week.
Right.
So, you know, I went in to say, Now, my doctor's surgery, I don't really have like a regular doctor because waiting times are, I just generally see who's available.
Yeah.
And so I was seeing quite a few of the doctors there over my time.
Mm.
And this one, I thought, oh, it's a female doctor. I don't care.
Yeah.
After everything I've been through, there's no dignity in medicine. I just don't care.
Yeah.
So I vaguely recognise the name. I think I've not a doctor. I think I've seen him once before, maybe. And I got there, went in, and I was like, "Oh, balls, it's you, isn't it? You're the really attractive one."
Oh no.
I was like, brilliant. Thank you, God. Thank you so much. Anyhow, we do this. I tell her all about it. Blah 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 blah. And then, of course, there's going to be the exam, isn't there? Which is standard procedure.
Mm.
So anyhow, there you go. You're in the queue. I don't know. We're in a closed room. I don't know why you sit on a table, then they pull a curtain round. It's like we're in a closed room anyway. You know what I mean? There's no through traffic. And she said, "Do you want someone else here? Shall I bring the nurse?" And I couldn't help myself. So I said, "No, I'm fine. I'm good without an audience." Oh, Christ! Shut up, man.
well done, Jim. Well done.
So anyway, it was all quick and easy, and you got to be philosophical about these things.
Yeah.
Some people pay very good money for an attractive woman to stick the finger up their ass, and I got it feel in the NHS. Hurrah!
God bless the NHS. Right. Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, the next visit was I'm booked in. End of the week to go back for a blood sample, which they will screen for signs of bowel cancer. Because she didn't find anything, so I got a pass on the comedy ailments of hemorrhoids and piles,
Right.
which are the staple of 70 sitcoms, and I don't want them.
No.
And also no obvious worrying lumps anywhere, which
Right.
is also good. So,
Yes.
I mean, you get to our age, your guts can get a bit temperamental, and you know what I mean. They can misbehave a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm being screened just in case there's something more sinister, because it has actually stopped. It only lasted about a week, and then it seemed
Right.
to just pack up again. And I'm still not convinced it wasn't due to a lot of red wine I was drinking, frankly. But you got to check it out. But the
Yeah.
other thing, so I'm booking for that. But also, I got in the sample a poo test.
Oh yes.
And the leaflet for this is hilarious because it is, like kind of really basic, like spot the dog style illustrations. It's like how to take your sample.
Did you get a little shovel?
No.
You get
You get like a little. You get like a a little vial with sort of fluid in, and like a test thing, not unlike the COVID test.
Oh, right. Yeah, don't
But
go
it's
sticking
the
out your
leaflet
nose
that
after,
says
though.
it says you know when you go, you mustn't get your poo wet. You might want to try catching it in a disposable container.
Oh, yeah.
Take a shit in some Tupperware.
Which just reminded me of the old Danny Davis routine where he did Parky doing the insurance adverts. No
Yeah.
salesman will call, and you won't need a medical, but you might need to take a shit in an old shoe. It was so like this. Kind of, oh, you might want to put some toilet paper in your hand and try and catch it. Who wrote this? I was tempted to scan it and put on the Facebook group, but Facebook will probably, nix it because it's not Nazi content and therefore offensive.
Have you had any
But
Chinese
it was the
takeaway recently?
funniest- No.
You could use one of them. Here's a number 22.
There we go. But yeah, it's quite the funniest thing I've ever said.
Oh my
read.
God.
It was illustrations that were kind of like, that sort of like felt tip spot the dog style.
Yes.
It was like that. Just kind of, I don't need to see this. It's nice to be clear so you know what you're doing. But on the same,
You should have,
oh dear.
you should have put some excitement into it. Do the get the music from was it Star Wars New Hope when they're trying to shoot the tube in the Death Star at the end. Dun, 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 dun.
No, sure you want the bing bong original track, Captain's Log.
Nice. Well, there you go. If we can all laugh at it, anyone else who's got anything to worry about can just laugh at it. Just go do your business and make sure you're healthy. We haven't got it.
Any concerns, see your doctor. Do not stick your head in the sand about these things. I know that's the thing. It's, oh God, it's embarrassing, blah, blah, blah. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Which is why I tell this story. And you know what I mean? It's all fine. It's all nothing bad happens. It's all quick and painless, and it's a lot better than not doing anything than finding out you got colon cancer. Or you've got some strange David Cronenbergian mutation going on that's going to start compelling you to eat people.
And let's be honest, this podcast doesn't have enough listeners as it is. I don't want any more dying off because they didn't actually go to the doctors. So, just
Yeah, man.
think about us. Yeah. Think about us if nothing else. Oh God. Okay, Jim. Well, I don't really know how to follow that up, but
no, I'm going to pass the ball on to somebody else.
Yeah. I tell you one little thing. One little thing I will say, because it does remind me of one little thing that's poo related. My dad used to tell this story about when he got his first car, and he saved up, and he got this little Jaguar, little S-type Jaguar, and he was very proud of it. And it was like back in the sort of 60s, early 60s, and he got this car, and my uncle, his brother, was moving house, and they looked after a cat. Anyway, so they drove.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. So they drove this car with this cat in down to the flat that my uncle was staying in, and this cat went absolutely fucking berserk in this car. Absolutely berserk, ripped up all the leather, all this sort of stuff, and my dad was very pissed off. Anyway, drops the cat off. They've driven for a couple of hours, dropped the cat off, comes back home. Anyway, my dad's now this is well before he met my mum. I've got to stress this, but he basically was taking this girl out for a date or whatever. And it was the first time he'd ever sort of like showed off his car to a lady, and they're in the car, and basically my dad leant around her, put his arm around her, and he felt something, and he was playing with it, and he was talking to this girl, he's chatting her up, and then he looked down, and he'd been holding a dried cat turd. Well, naturally, the date didn't go much further than that, and he apparently called up my uncle, and my uncle said, "You mug, you missed a trick there." My dad said, "What was that?" My uncle said, "Well, you should have looked classy and just put it in your mouth and lit it, pretend it was a cigar." Anyway, sorry about that. I don't know why that just came to mind. Random cat poo joke. Anyway, so there you go. Right. Anyway, moving on. Elton,
Mhm.
how was your week? In fact, your fortnight being up with the Mancunians doing lifts.
Yeah, I was up in Manchester learning how to lift.
Were you mad for it?
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I did annoy someone up there. I won't go into too much detail,
Mhm.
but when someone brings out something and is acting as if like this is the emperor's new clothes, as in we have created this product for the last 4 years and spent hundreds of thousands of pounds on these things, and then I turn around and say to him, "Isn't that one of those things from the 90s?" And he side eyes you and goes, Yeah, it doesn't go down well.
It's a fucking puppet.
Yes.
Yeah, right, okay.
So yeah, well done, Elton.
Well done.
Just keep the fucking shut up in future, please. I always do it. I hate
It's
it.
all right. Bollocks to him.
No, yeah, screw it. You know, you're spending this money, and you're like, no, stop. I'm gonna get myself into trouble. Shush. Anyway, I've had fun in the dishwasher department this week.
Euphemism.
Yes, I've had to strip it down.
Right.
And it's got a wonderful device on it which stops it from flooding. So bravo to them putting these sort of things on dishwashers.
That's a door, isn't it?
Is it all in bottom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Go carry on. Couldn't help yourself.
Is it called a drainage pipe by any chance? No?
Okay, go on. Go on, Elton. Go on.
So
can you form a simple
rudimentary
lathe?
Sorry, carry on, mate.
oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter now, honestly.
Go on.
I had a leak on the dishwasher, and it does have this wonderful system where if it detects a leak, so it's got a pan at the very bottom, and if there's water in there, the water collects in there. It doesn't go all over the floor, and raises this little polystyrene float to trip a switch, and then it just automatically dumps all the water that it has in there out to stop it from flooding. So, you know, that worked really, really well, thank goodness. But yeah. I got a little leak, and it was in the absolute heart of this beast, this leak. And it's a pinhole in one of these rubber hoses.
Oh.
And trying to get one of these rubber hoses, I went everywhere. You know, you go to plumbers and you're like, oh yeah, you got one of it. No, never seen one of them before. Like, yeah, I know you don't do machinery and stuff like that, but surely you got something that I could change. Maybe put something else on there. Have you got like some rubber hose I could put on there and that would work? No, mate. Have you tried Amazon? Like, for fuck's sake, I hope your fucking business goes fucking south, you bastards. Have you tried Amazon? It's like when I went to Curry's before Christmas to buy what was it? Fitbit
batteries
watch.
Oh
no, Fitbit watch.
Oh yeah.
And the advert on TV leading up to Christmas was how wonderful Curry's is when you can actually go in there and look at the equipment that you have. Look at the kettles, pick them up. You don't have to swipe them or anything like that, apart from Fitbits and watches that they have. Where, do you remember when you used to walk around IKEA and MFI and they used to have the fake TVs in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have those watches in there. You're like, fuck you. You don't fucking deserve any of my fucking money, you bastards.
So you didn't do very well.
I ended up ordering a bit off of eSpares once again. That's come to my rescue again.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where I got my heating element for my oven.
Yeah. Yeah,
E-spares.
it's pretty good. It is good. Although I would say measure twice or 3 times just in case, because I've bought other stuff off there and it's like come the wrong size. I'm like, son of a bitch! Oh! And it's always my fault. So,
So
that came to the rescue. So
nice.
I've put it all back together, and I'm not going to turn it on tonight because if it all goes tits up, then I'm going to spend the next 2 hours cleaning that up. So I thought, no, I'll do that tomorrow.
Do it.
No, I ain't doing it now.
We haven't had a DIY disaster actually
Live
live
on air.
I mean, you know, I've mentioned a few, but you know, let's be honest, you know, we haven't actually had one actually happen.
No, that's because most people know what they're doing,
Well,
or they don't try to do stuff they don't know what they're doing.
what?
But you know,
Well,
there you go.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you may be referring to at all.
You was upstairs in your loft with a jigsaw. I'm petrified and also can't wait to find out why.
That sounds like DIY Cluedo, doesn't it? Where did the fuck up happen? It was the fucking...
It was Lee in the loft with the jigsaw.
DIY Cluedo.
Yeah. I'm in pain. I'm not saying much more than that.
Got Tommy Walsh, Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen, Alan Titchmarsh.
Don't worry, love. I think we'll put a V-Lux in the roof. Watch this.
All I need is me hammer. Pass me tools. No. It's
Which cowboy installed this?
you.
See, it was Harry the Blade with, I don't know, a fucking 12-inch hose from a cooker or something.
Anyway, what else?
It's pretty cold out here.
What else did I do? I'm trying to remember. Proud dad moment.
Oh, go on in.
Oh,
go on.
God.
Kimmy passed her driving test.
Yay!
Oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that. Not
Yeah.
that I can't believe that she actually passed or anything like that. Yeah, it's more my kid now drives.
Yeah, and you know what that means?
Money.
Yep. Here
Yep.
comes the requests.
Yep.
Dad,
Yep.
when can I start getting? When can I buy my own car? I need my own car now. Yeah.
Oh, that's already started.
Yeah. I think being the proud parent to a teenager / now a 20-something who has passed her test and now has a small Hyundai i10 called Dimples because his roof is all dented. I can tell you this is a long, bumpy road you're about to face.
I know.
Mhm.
Jacob hasn't passed his yet, so
Yeah.
I think he's waiting to come home before he does that again.
Slip the examiner a 50.
Yeah.
Just keep
Really
failing.
works.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
also have been watching a couple of things, so I will
go on.
rattle through these very quickly if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
June Prophecy.
Oh,
Okay.
June.
June Prophecy. Yes.
Mm.
For the Benny Jarrett's. It's
Benny
Benny
Hillers.
Gesserit.
Benny Jarrett's.
Benny from Crossroads.
Benny with the shaky,
Hello, Miss Diane.
with the shaky set.
Phoebe the Mind Killer.
Yeah. More deep, he can't even fit in the fucking car park.
I can imagine Benny using the voice. Hello, Miss Diane.
I've changed. You changed the toilets. The toilet seats are clean.
Take out your blade.
Slow knife. To do the butter, Miss Diane. Anyway, go on, carry on.
So I enjoyed that. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's slow, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are enjoying the new Denis Villeneuve, however you pronounce his name, stuff, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious about it. I'm kind of want to see it, but on the other hand, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not.
There
not
is a
100%.
saturation point, definitely,
Yeah.
and I think we're reaching it. We can
Mhm.
see it on the horizon, definitely.
Yeah,
Mm.
here's 10,000 years before the events of the films that you watched and enjoyed. Okay, I think I know how this ends up. But anyway, yeah. So you did Dune Prophecy. That's on Apple. That's on Apple Plus.
Is that on Apple Plus? Yes,
Mm.
yes, it is. Yes, it is on
Yes.
Apple. No, it's on
It-
Sky. Sky as well.
Oh, on Sky, yes.
Yes. Whew. Yes, it's on
Mm.
Sky.
And Cinema Equidistant by the sound of things.
I pay Sky, so we're good. We're all
Mhm.
cool. I've also been watching Silo, which is
Oh.
from the Wool book.
Yes.
And what I think probably what people would have wanted Fallout movie or film to be, really.
Uh-huh.
This is turning out to more of a detective thing. I've never read the book. I have
Right.
heard reviews of the book, but not the book series. I know there's is it a trilogy of books? I think it is.
Yeah.
Wool, Dust, and Shaken Vac or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Wool, dust, insulation tape.
Yeah. It's like an A-team thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the shittiest set of gladiators.
Yeah.
We have
Wool.
We have dust. We have Welk.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Anyway, yes.
So that's on Apple at the
Mm.
moment, and I'm enjoying that. I'm only a couple of episodes into it. I think 4 episodes into it. It is turning into a bit of a detective thing. So your mileage may vary with that sort of thing, but I'm enjoying it so far,
Mm-hmm.
and worth a watch if you like end of the world type stuff. And the best thing I've seen so far, which has taken me aback a little bit because I was not expecting this. It's a program that has been on Sky. I think the whole thing is completed on Sky, and I'm watching it on catch up on there. And I've been meaning to watch it when I saw it come on the TV. I was like, oh, I might give that a go. I'm not too sure if I will.
Go
But
on.
this program is called The Day of the Jackal.
Oh, with Eddie,
Eddie
Redmayne.
Redmayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flipping hell, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Okay.
I was not expecting it to be this good. Now, there has been a lot of stuff online saying that they like Eddie in his role, but they don't like certain other people in their roles.
Okay. I can imagine who, but
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
But I thought this is flipping awesome stuff. And because I'm surprised at how good I'm and enjoying it,
Mm.
that just ramps it up even more. So I don't want to ruin it for anyone and they go into it going, well, this is really good and it's not that good.
Mm.
I went in there with no expectations whatsoever. I have seen a side-by-side thing because I've never seen the film, but I saw a side-by-side thing of the new one and the film, and there's a moment where he's got like a watermelon and he's shooting it and it's all pitch perfect, absolutely pinpoint accurate. It looks so good. But this Eddie, what's his name? I forget his name.
Eddie
Sorry.
Redmayne. Eddie
Yeah.
Redmayne.
I've been taken aback by him. I think he's brilliant in this. Absolutely brilliant. Yes.
Ooh. Cool, because I've always, whenever I've seen him, I've only ever seen him in stuff where he basically seems like the most nervous man in the room and is surprised to even be there.
Hmm.
And thinks that everyone's going to beat him up. That's what he always looks like to me.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh right, okay. Because I read the book years back, and then they've adapted it a couple of times, I think.
Right.
Yeah, there was the one with Bruce Willis.
Oh God, I'd forgotten
Was
about
it?
that.
Yeah, there was one with
Yes.
Bruce Willis where he played the Eddie Redmayne character,
Right.
and he had a terrible wig, a really bad wig, and it was bloody awful. Then there was the one with Edward Fox,
Yep.
which was the TV series. So yeah, I'll be interested to watch that. To be honest, I just give it a swerve because I don't really like Eddie Redmayne. I find he does two things: one, look worried, and two, whisper, basically,
Yeah.
and that's it. And and maybe do a nervous tick. He's like sort of if you ordered sort of Matt Smith's Doctor off of Temu. It's Eddie Redmayne turns up.
Okay.
Oh fuck!
Well, maybe
Mm.
because I've gone,
Mm.
I have no baggage. I have nothing of him of frame of reference at all.
Right? Yeah.
I really don't, and so I've just gone into it going, okay, because I've seen him in the interviews, and I'm like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, this was really good. I have seen some people online saying certain things that he should be joining a certain franchise, which starts with a 00 and ends in a 7.
Oh, good lord, no!
Who? Eddie? What? Really?
Eddie Redmayne as James Bond is a bit like getting, I don't know, Mr. Miyagi to turn up as fucking some kind of ninja. I mean, you just be sitting there going, I can see it, but it's just vaguely ridiculous.
Mhm.
It would be like, I'm trying to think. It would be like sort of, it'd be like getting John Craven in his Country File era to sort of turn up as, I don't know,
Do you know what? Right.
fucking, fucking
saying that, right?
Scaramanga.
Saying that, there were suggestions that was it the guy who plays Loki, Tom
Hiddleston.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. He was going to be, he's in the running for James Bond. I thought, oh, get out of it, no way. And then I watched The Night Manager, and I thought, all right, fine, yeah, I can see him being James Bond now.
Yeah.
So that was a really good show. That was. He was particularly brilliant.
Yeah,
in
well, give the Day of the Jackal a go, and then you might change your mind.
The one I always had pegged, and I think I said this last time when I watched it, but after watching the Gentleman TV
Yes,
show,
him. He should have been James Bond.
Theo James,
Him.
definitely,
Yes,
but
he was spot on.
he
that
was,
bloke.
yes. But anyway, oh well. So Day of the Jackal, eh?
Yes,
Right.
I definitely recommend that.
Cool. Okay, I'm well up for that. I do it. Oh no, that's the Fourth Protocol. No, it's all right. I was going to say something else. It's all right. There was another Lee goes off into a rambling story from his past, but it was the Fourth Protocol, not Day of the Jackal. It's okay. Let's move on. Anyway, anything else, sir?
No, that's it. That's all I got for you.
Brilliant. Okie dokie. Well, then over to you then, Dal. What's going on in Darren World?
What is going on in Darren World? Well, this Friday just gone, I did done off to the cinema, and I did watch The Wolfman.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. It's made by the same guy who did The Invisible Man, the new version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Wanell or something, isn't it?
Indeed, a film which I enjoyed very muchly. And so I thought, oh, okay. So let's see what he can do with the sort of werewolf, the subject of werewolves.
Yeah.
And forget what you already know about werewolves, where this is concerned. I mean, how can I describe it? It is actually a wolf man rather than a werewolf. So this
Okay.
is a person slowly changing physically into this thing. There's no full moon. There's no fucking silver bullets or anything like this.
Right.
It treats it more like a disease than anything else.
Okay.
And the great thing is about this, and this is something I've not actually seen done before, there's sections in it where he's slowly changing and his family knows that something's not quite right with him. And there'll be bits where he's sitting there, they're sitting there talking to him, and then it's slowly the camera pans round and the lighting changes, and you see how he's starting to see his family.
Right.
And it's really, it gets worse and worse for him. They start looking less human as it goes on to him.
Does it do the Bugs Bunny thing of turning their faces into pork chops?
No, not like that at all. No, it goes real weird where that's concerned. It's really quite. I think possibly how the humans look to him after a while is more unnerving than the actual the Wolfman itself. So
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was really well done. I like that kind of take on it. Yeah, lots of tension in it, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend it. Go see it.
Right, because I
Go
heard
have a
it
watch
was.
of that.
I heard it had owed more to the Fly than the Wolfman. I mean, this is only from reviews. I haven't seen it. I'll say that.
No, they this is more. They start off with a line of text on the screen saying that talking about a man that's been, or a strange individual that's been seen wandering the woods, and then it gives a name to the condition that's been given
Right.
by Native American Indians.
Right.
And what it does is it translates it as to face of the wolf.
Oh, right.
And yeah, he slowly throughout this, as the film goes on, he's slowly transforming into
Right.
this, whatever his final form will be. And it's the first thing. I mean, it's like he starts his mental acuity starts going. His ability to speak disappears, and his ability to understand is slowly going as well. So understanding plain English
Feels like me after a bottle of wine.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was really well done.
Right.
I want to see it again. I want to sort of like, just in case there was stuff that I missed in it. But yeah, there is horror in it as well. It's not just him that's a problem.
Right.
So yeah, I can't
Okay.
say any more than that because there is other stuff involved. In this.
Okay.
But yeah, I recommend it. Go see it. It's good. No, I thought it was a good little take on werewolves.
Oh, right.
But yeah, just don't go expecting silver bullets and full moons. It's nothing to do with that at all now. It's changed, but in a good way, I think.
Okay. Cool.
So there we
Right.
go. Let's see.
Yep.
What else did we do? Other thing that I saw was Creature Commandos.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I've seen every episode now. It's finished.
Right.
So yeah, this is James Gunn's first real foray into the DC world for the new DCU that he's creating.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to make, as he said in his own words, what he's going to do is, when it comes to things like animated shows and movies, anybody that plays a role in an animated show will be playing that role in a film.
Right.
If that character goes into it.
Mm.
Yeah, I quite like the show. It's got a very dark sense of humor running through it. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is Amanda Waller who was in charge of the Suicide Squad,
Yes.
has a ban slapped on her for she can't do that anymore. Right? She's not allowed to use supervillains for these little jobs. So that's it. She's had that completely taken away from her. So she's not allowed to use these humans at all. So the way she gets around it is she said, well, I'm not going to use humans. I'm going to use monsters. And so there's she gets a group of these monsters together to go and protect this princess in a foreign country.
Right.
And the team she puts together, there's a woman who can breathe underwater. She's like a half woman, half fish individual. There's the weasel who was in the Suicide Squad. He's back in this.
He was blown up on the beach.
No, he survived. You see, if you see the post-credit sequence, he's actually alive by the end of it. So you've got that. You've also got a woman called the Bride, who is the bride of Frankenstein, who is pretty fucking kick-ass, I've got to say. And then you've got my favourite character, a character called Dr. Phosphorus, played by Alan Tudyk, who is just, I love him. He's great. He does things like, basically the way he looks is he's a skeleton that's covered by his skin is transparent, but he's like fluorescent green and black, right?
Yeah.
So what he can do is he can heat things up to high temperatures and create heat shields and stuff like this. And I did love him from. He gets over to this guard that he's attacking, sticks his hand straight through his chest and just goes, shish kebab. So, yeah, for me, his little bits, stuff that he comes out with throughout the actual show, he made me like him a lot. He's a, yeah. So, and in charge of him, you've got Rick Flag Sr., okay, who's, just controlling the team like his son did in the previous Suicide Squad movie. Now, also, there is a wild card that gets involved with this. Frankenstein's monster, or Frankenstein as he's called himself, played by David Harbour, who has had this thing over a couple of centuries where he's been trying to get the bride to fall in love with him. So he's like, oh, no, I know she loves me. I know she does. And then you see all the time she's tried to stop him very violently. And it's like, no, there's no love there at all.
No.
So he is like this very powerful, very scary stalker who's just trying to get to her all the time. Yeah. Okay. So it cuts to him and it shows you, and I've got to admit, there's a bit in his backstory because every episode kind of focuses on one of the team as they're going about their business, and it will show you how they got to where they are. Right. And there's one part of his story just reminded me of Young Frankenstein. The bit with Gene Hackman. It just, I don't know. It's not anything like, it doesn't meet a monk, but the outcome of this one little story just reminded me of that scene from Young Frankenstein.
Just wait until the tip glows.
Yeah.
Soup. I brought you soup. We got cigars. Yeah.
So, so there we go. That's 7 episodes. You can get it on HBO Max if you've got a good VPN. Or get yourself a ticket to Cinema Equidistant and watch it on there.
Black Dog Podcast brought to you by Cinema Equidistant. If you want something and you can't bloody watch it, well, who cares? Okay.
Indeed.
Cool.
So one other thing we did this weekend, myself and Ree went out to watch a Blondie tribute band called Totally Blondie, who were absolutely brilliant. Loved them. The lead singer sounded very much like Debbie Harry. And
you'd hope so.
Yeah, indeed you would do. But some of these tribute bands could be a bit touch and go with, I mean, I've seen one or two Queen tribute bands where it's not so much Freddie Mercury. It's more Fred Dimbar.
Yeah. Now welcome to the stage, Harry Debbie.
Harry Debbie, yes.
Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
Jesus.
Call me. Call me.
Don't you, P2. I'm in love with you. Don't you, P2. Yeah.
It keep me hanging on the telephone.
So,
yeah, go on.
yeah, the band were brilliant. Really, really good. So, very much enjoyed them. What I didn't enjoy was the audience.
Well,
That was just fucking ignorant shitheads, right? Now, you would think, being people of an older disposition, that they might, be a different kind of audience. They might show a little bit of respect to the actual band on stage.
okay.
But I'm sorry, if you walk up to the stage and you start using the stage as your personal fucking drinks table, right? That's not respecting the band on stage, right? That's their area, right? Everything right up to the fucking edge is a performance zone.
Yep.
Right? And you could tell she wanted to come further out and do some stuff, but she couldn't because they'd all put their wines up there and their fucking half a fucking very weak beer, stuff like this.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't happy with at all. But I'll tell you what was funny.
Yes.
I'm watching sort of like, the band do their thing, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And, woman singing her heart out there, and I just, yes, this is fantastic. I'm loving this. And then I looked out at the audience, and I'm not joking. I'm sure I got a whiff of wintergreen and fucking Sanatogen coming at me, because I looked at, and it's like the collective age of this audience is like it's it's got to be about 8,000 years.
You were in that audience.
I am. I know I was in that audience, but I was like one of the youngest ones there. I think I must have been.
Jesus.
Right? I think there were 3 people in that audience that were below 40. And 3 being one of them.
And only 2 of them weren't wearing tenor lady or tenor men.
Oh, well, get this, right? And God bless him. You know what? I hope I'm still rocking when I'm his age. But as I turn around, I scanned the audience. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, what must a band on stage be thinking? Looking at this lot. It's like, which fucking geriatric home have we turned up in here? There's one bloke, right, in the middle of it. He looked about 80. And he was up there. He was up there giving it some in the middle of the stage. It was like, Jesus Christ, all right, Grandad. We're not giving you free sugars in your tea now.
The Viagra's kicked in, Marge.
Yeah.
Your day's coming.
Indeed. Indeed.
Mm.
But apart from that, no, the band, fantastic. I don't know, maybe we'll go and see them again at some point. But they were really good. They even came out and talked to the audience afterwards. So, they did
the ones that were still awake.
The ones that were still awake, yes. Yes.
Still alive.
Still alive.
They made it all the way through to the end of the performance without need for an ambulance or a stretcher.
Yep. Indeed.
Oh, right.
So there we go. So that was my weekend.
Okay. Well, I don't really have that much to talk about my week. I went down. We were doing Lisa's university things. We're still looking around that, and we went down to Winchester. Drove down to Winchester, checked Winchester out. Very nice little town. Well worth a look, even if you're just passing through. Went to the actual uni, which seems to be entirely on a hill, which is. It was like there's building 1, bottom of the hill, building 2, middle of the hill, building 3, slightly higher up of the hill, residences, a bit further up the hill, car park, top of the hill, and then right next to the car park, hospital. It's like, the fucking hell is this? But so we did that. That was quite nice. And then while Carol's away in Australia, because she's been away and she'll be away for another week or 2 at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, she's not back till February. So, we got that to go. And so I've thought, well, you know what's nice? Just one of the things that's always nice, and my parents used to do it when me and Carol actually went on holidays, is if the house comes back and there's little bits of things that have been changed and tweaked and, just improved a little bit. So,
Oh, God,
like,
no.
so for example, like Lisa's room, we jazzed that up a couple of weeks back, and that was quite nice. Back and forth to the
We
back
call
and
this the
forth.
fire room. Now, Carol.
This room,
This
this
is the
room-
charcoal room.
yeah, this room is done. Let's not go there again.
Don't go in. You don't need to look.
Yeah,
You just have to trust me, darling. It's done.
it's done. It's the money pit thing. The kitchen's done, and so's the chicken.
Well, it was as I was putting up shelves, I accidentally released Cthulhu.
Who knew? It's one of those things. It happened to anyone, honestly. So one of the things I've had in the back of my mind is the fact that when we go up in the loft to put stuff up there or take stuff out, it's always like everything's just around like the door of the loft. So you go up there and there's like there's like columns of stuff just waiting to fall on you as you walk in. So, and the reason is because we've got no boarding between any of the joists. So if you put anything on the, between the joists, it's 50-50. It's going to go through the fucking roof.
Oh God!
So I went to B&Q and I looked for loft boards, and I found you can buy loft boards, pack of 3 for £12. So I bought 4 packs. I have brought them back. I bought 100 screws, self-tappers. And you know what? I have almost...
No lighting working upstairs now, is there?
No.
You've almost replastered the ceiling. Yes. That's brilliant.
Well, actually, the thing, what we've done is we've cleared... Because Lisa...
I don't know how I've done it, but I've gone through a water main, but there's no water mains going through the loft.
There is now.
There is now. I managed to reroute the water main through the loft because I found that helped. No, I was going to say because Lisa was off today because we had to do some follow up on a medical thing that she had back in September. So I thought, well, you know what? Got some time. I'm going to try and clear out the loft. So we started clearing out the loft. We're taking things down, putting them in Katie's room because Katie's not here. So, fuck her luck if she comes back early. She's got no room. None at all. Nothing. Her room is basically a store cupboard. And I went up there. I've got everything laid out. And do you know what? The loft boards and the internet and everything in the entire world says, do you know there must be a 60 centimetre distance between the centre of 2 joists? 60 centimetres. That's why the boards, which you have to stagger, are, like 180 or 240 long. That way you can sit them and stagger them between the joists. Lovely. It's numbers. It's factor of 6. Everything. Science, man. Except my house, all the joists are 40 centimetres apart, not 60. So every single board overhangs. So if I put them down, put them on one joist, it'll go over 3 joists, and then there'll be 20 centimetres hanging off the end, which means I've got these kind of floppy bits that I have to keep cutting off. So I went to my mum and I said, have you got a saw? And because I've got a saw, but I'm not very good at sawing, I'll be honest with you. It might come as a surprise to most of you, but I'm actually not that good at DIY. So
Really?
really?
Shocking.
You don't say. So she went, oh, I've got one of these, and she pulled out this thing. It's a power saw, a power jigsaw.
Oh. Just the fact that you call it a power jigsaw.
What? What's wrong with the power? What's that? It's powered. It's a jigsaw. It's a saw.
Power jigsaw.
Well, what is it? Is it
As
a wind
opposed
up?
to the unpowered one, then, yes?
I was going to say they must be able to get an unpowered one. That's why you get fucking saws.
Yeah, that's called a saw.
And an unpowered jigsaw is actually a jigsaw puzzle.
Sharp. Anyway, so I got this thing, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm gonna measure everything up. I'm gonna measure twice, cut once, all that sort of business. And
oh, God.
and then I realised I've got no distance between the saw's blade and the roof of the house, the floor bit. But the joists aren't that deep, and the blades on this thing are large. So I thought, I know, I'll do this. I will go over the door. I will leave the door, drop door, down into the stairwell. I'll leave that open, and I will put the planks over it, and I will cut through because there's nothing underneath except a ladder. Yeah.
Gravity.
Fatality.
Are you recording this from the loft? Is that what you're trying to say?
You sawed the ladder in half. Yes? Is that what you did?
I'm still here. Somebody said help. I can't even upload this thing. I'm doing it on my phone. I can't edit it. Call an ambulance. So I was cutting through these things and cutting them up. And do you know what? Do you know that chipboard is really splintery? I found that out because every time I cut through this thing, and that saw is terrifying. I mean, literally, I turned it on, I pulled the trigger, I went, and this thing went like about 4 foot across like the entire plank. Just went straight through it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to die now, aren't I? This is it. This is how I die. Up in a loft, bleeding to death after a saw randomly goes through like some vital organ. So I cut this thing, and I tell you what, my hands right now, I'm looking at them, and every single finger on my hands
It's missing.
and my palms, yeah, they're all missing. No, they've all got splinters in them. Every single one. I am actually in immense amounts of pain right now. Because every time I picked up the board, I got a splinter in it. I've got splinters in my palm. I've got splinters in my tooth, splinters in my thumb on my left-hand side. I've got 3 in my index finger.
CIA's got you pushing too many pencils. That's what that is.
Hey, Dylan, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I've got at least 3 in the palm of my right hand. I've got 3 on my middle finger on my right hand. Yeah, I'm bleeding out, and I think I'll be dead before the end of the podcast. So yeah, but then on top of that, I put everything down, and it now turns out that there's joists that literally stick straight up. They're not going across the loft; they're going straight up. And I've also seen, I don't know, so I've got some joists that are literally balancing on this thing like seesaws, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might cut round them. I might cut them off. That might be a good idea.
Don't cut the joists off.
Okay.
Please don't cut the joists off. Whatever was in there, don't cut.
Maybe.
Whatever you brought up to the loft, you can cut that.
Right.
Anything else that was already in there, do not cut.
Okay. So, Mr. So-called expert. I think I know my house.
If you want a roof on your house, do not cut anything in your loft. I don't know what this bit of wood is. This bit of wood going in between these 2 joists. No, I don't need this.
It looks like it's coming out the actual floor of the loft.
Right, and is it attached to anything?
No, but I imagine that underneath it
was
is a
it
wall.
Attached to anything?
No, it seems to be going into the wall below, into the wall of the bedroom below. Okay. I think it's part of the supporting wall. It's definitely strapped down quite tight, but it goes up a little bit too high. This just making everything awkward. Anyway, it's all good. But then I get all the way to the chimney,
Chimley?
The what?
Where?
The chimley?
Chimney.
Chimley?
Yeah.
Little
We got
chimley
a
Osmond.
Chimney. Chimney.
Chimley. Chimley. Chim-chim-chiroo.
Lee,
Yeah.
Lee,
Yes.
you know in our body, we
Yeah.
have flesh and we have
Yeah.
muscles.
Yes.
What's all that attached to?
My skeleton, I would hope.
So you say that word correctly,
Yes.
but you can't say chimney.
Chimney. Chimney. What's wrong? Chim. What have I
Now,
said?
Elton, to be being unfair, you know he's on a lot of ibuprofen.
No, it's ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen, motherfucker. You fuckers. Absolute fuckers. There I am.
Why'd you put an L in chimney?
Chimley.
Yeah,
Chimley.
yeah, that. Why did you say that?
Why did I say what?
Do you say whip instead of whip?
Cool whip.
Whip.
Whip. What's wrong? What am I saying? I don't understand. Oh, I'm sitting here, literally, my hands are like I've cuddled a fucking porcupine, and you guys can mock me. I'm literally
You spare
bleeding.
£2 a week for Lee Metcalf.
Buy him some gloves. Anyway, I got bored. I've left it all up in the loft.
200 quid worth of timber, and it's just fucking sat there.
Sat in between the joists on the plasterboard that he was
Yeah,
trying
that'll
to
do
protect in the first place.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'll take care of it on Saturday. It'll be fine. Maybe. Anyway, I was going to say the chimney.
No, you said it again.
What? What?
Chimley.
Chimney? Oh, fuck off.
Chimley. Chimley. Chim-chim-chiroo.
I think we found the phrase that pays early.
Oh, man.
Got me,
Chimley.
I got me chimley. Chimley stack with me
Hello?
ibuprofen.
I'm a chimney sweep.
Chimney sweep. Fuck off, you guys. Right. Well, I think I'll leave it there then. Apparently, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I've lost all the will. I've lost the
Can
will
you
to
say-
tell the story.
Can you say penguin?
Penguin.
Oh, there. That's fine. Okay. I wonder if Benedict Cumberbatch and Pingwings.
Penguins.
Penguins. Yeah.
Right. Oh,
Isn't it
fucking hell.
squirrel? Some people can't say squirrel.
Yeah.
Squirrel.
I think Germans can't say squirrel.
Welcome
Can't
to
look up.
They say squirrel. Squirrel? Squirrel.
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 What's wrong? What? Am I having a stroke? What is going on?
I don't know. We can't see what you're doing, Lee.
Well, I am sitting here in
Quite
my
frankly,
dressing
don't
gown.
want to know.
I'm sitting here in my dressing gown.
Oh,
'Cause-
it's fallen open by accident.
Well, here I am, just sitting in my red pants. No,
Wearing my exfoliating gloves.
I'm not wearing any gloves because my hands are absolutely in massive amounts of pain and bleeding from every tiny
Maybe you
holes.
should wear some fucking gloves then.
Well, it's a bit late now. Anyway, yeah, I also got covered in what's that stuff? That furry stuff that goes in the loft,
Oh,
insulation.
Jesus. Oh, God.
Oh.
So that scratched
Okay,
me up as well.
So,
Mm.
what does that look like?
What do you mean? What's it look like? Me covered in insulation?
Just wondering if you're covered in asbestos or not. That's all.
Oh no! It is the yellow fiberglass sort of puffy, floaty stuff.
Okay.
Not pieces of stuff that looks like chalk. No,
Mm.
no. I got rid of that yesterday. I threw that out. Yeah. I took a bite of that. Thought, oh, bit chalky. Threw it off. No, I just got fucking tons of this stuff all in my skin and everything. I'm absolutely in pain. I'm in massive amounts of pain. But don't worry, the bottle of wine helped. But yeah, right. Do we want to do feedback or should we just leave it till next week? Because I think we're running late. You know what? You know
you got
what?
much feedback?
Well, we got one. We got one from Dean Holt for "Don't Worry, Darling," which we reviewed last week, and he said on the Facebook group, "Watched it last night. Thought it was a good concept, even though it had a Truman Show Stepford Wives feel. But it was another great performance from Florence Pugh, and I also loved the cinematography. But I thought it could have been executed better, as there's very little depth to the characters, especially Chris Pine, as he felt like an average Marvel Cinematic Universe villain. This could have all been done in the first hour, and very little happens in that period, other than me getting a few questions I ended up with not getting any answers to. Like, how long are they in the VR world? If it's not for long periods, why isn't anyone looking for her in the hospital? Was the crash plane a glitch? Why are the eggs empty in one scene and then not empty in the next? If you die in this world, why do you die in real life? How does pregnancy work if the Victory Gateway is so important, why isn't it guarded? Granted, some of these could have been answered if I was paying more attention in the first hour, but I thought the first half was really dull. Overall, I thought it was okay, but I can't see me rewatching it. Whereas Sean Gleason said, better movie than I expected it to be, going in for a rewatch. So there you go. And Martin Thompson said, I saw it a few months back when it first dropped on Amazon. Quite good. There will certainly be a few topics to chew over. There you go. By the way, what did Mr. Elton say? Did you watch it, mate?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah, and what did you think?
I thought Chris Pine was underused.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so through that. And it was... I think you said about, can we please stop putting old Watermelon Man in things? What's his name?
Watermelon Man.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, yes.
Yes. Watermelon Man.
I didn't mind him in that, but then you put him up against Chris Pine and Florence Pugh, and you're like, oh, they just blow him away. Absolutely blow him away. But I really did quite enjoy the movie. But I thought it was going to go a bit of a different route, where instead of it being like a VR thing and the wives are just left there, I thought they were going to be the ones experimented on. So the husbands say, oh, yes, we're off to do experiments in that building over there, and then go to the building over there and then watch the experiment happen on the wives.
Gotcha.
But it didn't quite work out that way.
No. Fair enough. Okie dokie. And one last thing now, before we roll this half up, we got to do this. Yes, asking for trouble, because I asked for questions and then people gave me questions, and then now we've run out of time, so I'm not going to ask the questions, but I feel like I should. So there you go. So we're asking the questions. Anne-Marie Organ says, which childhood, early adulthood TV that isn't available at the moment would you love to see released either on streaming or Blu-ray?
Mysterious Cities of Gold.
Ooh, good call. Good call. I got one. Trapdoor.
Love Trapdoor.
I'm hungry.
Did Anne-Marie say specifically kids programs?
Which childhood / early adulthood TV show? Why?
No, I've got a good one.
Go on.
I'm trying desperately to get on DVD, but it seems as though it's disappeared. It's a show called Noah's Castle.
Noah's Castle, right?
Noah's Castle, and it's all about a food shortage that happens in Britain. And it's all things like people trying to hoard food, and it's all against the law, and there's one family that's got like a secret stash of it. And it stars Mike Reid as a very nasty individual in it.
Fucking Mike Reid.
No, honestly, he was really good in this. He was really, really good in this show.
Okay.
So yeah, either that or what's the other one? There's a castle again, King of the Castle, which is all about a kid who gets in a lift. It goes down below the lower floors, and he ends up in a really kind of warped alternate reality.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So
Both of them have been released by Network DVD, who sadly have gone under now.
Oh,
But
that'd be it.
I got King of the Castle a few years ago. Noah's Castle currently unavailable, sadly.
I know.
So hoping someone will pick up their back catalogue, because they've done a great job with
Nice.
releasing all these obscure old things.
It strikes me as that's the kind of thing where cinema equidistant comes in quite handy, because it's like, well, what do you expect people to do? Just sit here and wait for you to pull it out your arse, companies?
Well, Lee, I understand you have an up-to-date program about your personage of Cinema Equidistant. Maybe you could let us know if even Noah's Castle or King of the Castle is going to be available, and also where we can buy tickets for cinema.
I will see. I will have a look at the box office of Cinema Equidistant.
Please do.
and see what's coming up in the ongoing schedules.
Yeah,
But,
see what's going on.
Cinema Equidistant is quite up to date.
Who knows?
But there you go.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who can say? Who can say? Cool, Jim. What's your pick before I incriminate myself?
It's kind of partially available. A series called Ace of Wands.
Ace of
It was
Wands.
early 70s, about kind of like a teenage magician who was kind of an occult detective. So the remaining episodes have been released, but it's only like the last few episodes, the third series that are surviving. The other two series are long, long gone, and I'd love to see those again. I remember watching when I was very young, and obviously went over my head, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have vivid memories of it being weird and strange and cool. And it's a shame. It just appears to be most of it's lost, sadly, but there you go.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. So, there are other questions, but we are running dangerously late on time. So if we don't still wrap it up now, we won't get to the review before midnight. So what we'll do is we'll wrap it up there. If anybody has any other questions, and I know that first time feedbacker Thomas McCambley's dropped one in, so we will answer that next week. But if anybody's got any other questions they'd like to ask us, by all means, drop it into the Facebook group under the banner at the top of the featured of Black Dog Asking for Trouble. You see the picture of us all looking really interested at our various writing things. We are pretending to look interested. So yes, send us in that, or you can send it into feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or you can hit me up on Blue Sky, which is cartoonbeardy.bsky.social, and I will leave the questions and we'll ask them next week. Right, at this point, I feel like we should just take a break. I shall go and apply some more antiseptic to my hands, and yes, cry for a bit as I applied some Germaline to the wounds, and yes, we will be back for Football Factory. Fucking have it, you melt.
Ooh, we're watching a new movie we've never seen before. I'm buttering my nipples and waxing my ass. Roll up the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up
Masturbation.
for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. The Mystery Monaco film is waiting for us to hit play. Going to watch it today, what will we say?
The Football Factory is a 2004 British sports drama film written by A.J. Lovell and directed by Nick Love, don't you know? It's starring Danny Dyer, Tamara Anson, and Frank Arbor, and Roland McCoonan, Neil Maskell and Dudley Sutton. All cunts. A lot of them. The film is loosely based around a novel of the same name by John King and the first foray into filmmaking of the video game producers Rockstar Games. Because, of course they needed to be part of it, didn't they? Cool, blimey. God, don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't try and mug me off with a fucking video game. You can make a film. You can make a film rock star. Anyway, he stars all these cunts. It was made for a boxer, made for God knows how much, because you know what, it's got to be more than a monkey, innit? But how much do you reckon it made at the box office, Jim?
I'm making it made a pony, a monkey, possibly a chimp.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Dal, what you got?
I think it made.
Nice one. I tell you what, you right on the money there, mate. All right, anyway, go on, Elton. What do you reckon, mate?
I reckon 4 meters of Burberry scarf, 10 pairs of Reebok Classics, a Stone Island jumper, and a shit ton of bad acting. Straight up.
Straight up. Well, actually, what it is it's a bunch of it's watching Popeye and having a wank. That's what it was. That's how much it earned. Or
watching Popeye and having a wank.
Yeah,
It's killed my childhood right there. That really has. That's no.
You say Popeye?
Yeah,
Pop
he
Idol.
said Popeye. Oh, Pop Idol. I thought you said Popeye. I'm thinking
you.
watching Popeye and having a wank.
Yeah, that fucking olive oil. She's got it going on, mate. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he had arms like that.
Exactly. I'm strong in the finish because I eat me spinach. Yeah, I'll tell you what, your finish is really strong. That's why olive oil looks always shocked.
See his wrist? I could trip a fucking truck with his wrist. Look. Whee.
Darren, you ever tossed off over Gareth Gates?
Over Gareth Gates? No, under him. But yeah.
Or to him.
Anyway.
Gonna take this moment, make it last forever. Anyway, right. It's a fucking movie. This is a fucking movie about a bunch of football hooligans for Chelsea, you know, north of the river, going in for their derby with Millwall, south of the river, if you know what I mean. And then some other shit. But first we'll get to it. Let's go around the table. Let's have a meet. Let's have a discussion. You know, keep it on the down low. So, go around the table. No spoilers. Let's keep it light, you know, keep it light. So we'll ask you, Darren, what do you think of this film? No spoilers, mate. You know, keep it light. Keep it light.
I fucking hated it. I'll tell you what, I got triggered more fucking times than a gunfight at the OK Corral. I really did with this fucking film. I'm sorry, I've known too many people exactly like those fucking cunts on the film itself to feel comfortable with it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated just about everyone in it. I wanted them all to fucking burn. Just every single one. Apart from the 2 old blokes. That was it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Just,
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put him down as a maybe. What about you, Jim?
Oh, where'd you start with this? It's a film of 2 halves,
Mm?
and both of them shite. Oh dear! I mean, honestly, I could see what it was trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't do it. Basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I don't want to say too much more without getting into the spoilers, really. But yeah, there are better films about football hooliganism than this,
Right.
by far. Like nearly any of the others.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, Elton picked it, so he goes last. So you stand up at the back, you mug. I'll tell you what I think of it. You know what I think of it? I think I watched Trainspotting written by a fucking brain dead chimp. That's what I thought. And then what happened?
Say that.
And then halfway through it, suddenly it decides it wants to be Goodfellas, but also written by the same brain dead chimp. And then what happens is the rest of it is basically a bunch of wankers mouthing off at each other, left, right, and centre, trying to find a reason to have a row. And then by the end, you just think, yeah, and then you go, right, fine, move on. Nothing going on. And I tell you what, I just thought, what a waste of fucking time. Elton, what did you think?
Thank you, Barry Norman. Yeah.
It's like he's in the room.
It's like you were channeling him right there.
Go on, Elton, what do you think?
This was awful. It was fucking awful. Now, I chose this. Severance is on my list. I do have a list of films I do want to cover. Unfortunately, because we're doing the streaming stuff and keeping it all legit and above board and everything like that,
I don't know what you mean.
we can't cover every film that I want to cover.
Yes.
Which is fair enough. But, they'll come round at some point, hopefully. But Severance is on that list. And I do want to do that. And I'm hoping to do that one day when it comes on. Unfortunately, it's not. And I totally forgot that it was my choice. And I was up in Manchester. I was like, oh, shit, I haven't got my list. I don't know what to do. And I was skimming through all these films. I was like, I can't be asked for look at the grand scheme of this movie. What is it telling you? I couldn't be asked for that shit. So I thought, fuck it. Let's go for this. This is awful. This is fucking... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, we have like Hands of Manos and all these other shit films, which you know are going to be shit when you go into this. And you know this is going to be shit. Yes. But there's a different feeling of it, of, well, there could be something in there. But it's not. It's just a bunch of mates making a movie. Half of them cannot act. It's written, it feels like it's written as they go along. As if like, oh, I wonder what this could be like. Oh, I could do this, I could do that. And look, it's, oh. And Darren, you're right. I've met all of these people in real life. And I felt uncomfortable around all of these people in real life.
Yep.
And I was feeling uncomfortable watching these people because I've been there, and it's a hideous place to be when you're in a pub and you don't really want to be in that pub.
No.
And I know it's easy. Oh, you could just walk out, but it's not that easy. It's really not. But being around these types of people, it's hideous.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it hit me this time watching it because I've seen this a couple of times before. And
a couple of times? I
have, seen. I think I saw it on DVD when it first dropped in Blockbusters or whenever it was when it came out on DVD.
Yeah,
and I thought it was all right, but I think I was closer to that time. But now I'm far more removed from going down the pub and mingling with people like this. Mm-hmm. It makes a difference, and you can see what a bunch of cunts they all are. I don't care. They are all a bunch of cunts. I don't want to be anywhere near any of these characters whatsoever. I hate them all. I think they're all bastards. I hate the football yobbo type thing
culture.
Where the culture and the dress code and everything that goes along with it, thinking that you're a big man and a gangster and everything like that. It makes me cringe. It makes me feel nauseous. It's just not me. It's so far the opposite side of where I am.
Indeed.
And yet I chose this film. So I apologize so much. So much.
You got it off your chest now, mate. That's the most important thing.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, you've squeezed that spot. You've popped it now. So that's all good.
I've popped it, but I'm in that position of it's killing me, and I wish I hadn't popped it, and I'm getting like watery mouth.
Oh, right.
What?
Do you not get a watery mouth sometimes when you pop a spot? No,
what?
Just me. Hello.
Just
Did
thought
I
you were
say
going to
that?
you're about to throw up, which is why you start getting the waterworks come at us. Oh no, mouse filling with saliva. This can only mean one thing.
I've popped my spot.
Yep. Is that
Anyway.
a euphemism?
That's what I was wondering. To be perfectly frank,
Not Cockney rhyming slang.
I've popped my spot.
Pop me spot right in front of the bathroom mirror. Well, I mean, obviously you can't afford full length one, so you got to have the mirrors involved. A bathroom, I suppose, is as good as any other place. There you are.
Yes. What? Okay.
You know what? I was in a hotel room once. Stood there naked. He had a mirrored ceiling, mirrored walls, and a mirrored floor. And I looked down, and it put me off of Brussels sprouts and chipolatas for the rest of my life. I'll tell you, it really did.
Yeah. Mirrors. The thing is, I can't see myself in them.
Oh.
I don't know. Anyway, that was weak. That was weak sauce. I apologise. Right. Okay. Well, I suppose at this point we should do the spoiler jingle. We should get a spoiler jingle, Dan, shouldn't we? Fucking do it.
Let's do it.
Hold
match
on.
of the day. Go on, match of the day.
Here we go. Here we go.
Stop fucking round and ping him.
Oh, what? All right. Here we go.
Bonjour, messieurs.
Yes. Quite.
I
Quite.
think you missed a trick there, Lee.
What?
It should have been. It's a film about cunts and fighting. That's the one. That's what it should have been.
What, one of those ones?
Everybody
We did that
was
ages ago.
cunts and fighting.
Film about cunts and fighting.
Yeah.
It wasn't exciting.
Yes. I mean, I don't even know where to begin on this one. Really don't. I mean,
Would anyone else have chosen this?
not me.
No, not in a million
Not
years.
not even for. We know it's going to be shit. Let's
No.
watch this.
No, because I know what it
No.
entails, and I was right when I watched it. It's like this. Honestly, this. I came home. I started watching it on the train. I came home in a fucking bad mood just from watching 15 minutes of this fucking pile of old tripe. I really did. That's how it made me feel. It was like all these old sort of fucking stuff that came up from buried from deep below. Just
Don't worry, Jim.
rose to
You'll
the
answer in a
surface.
minute.
Jesus fucking H Christ.
Would you have chosen it, Jim?
No. I'm a little bit familiar with Nick Love's work because he made a string of these crap Cockney bollocks films, and I have seen one of them because he did the remake of The Sweeney. Which
Oh
was
my
fucking
God.
awful!
Oh, fuck.
It was very similar to this in the fact that, I mean, credit where credit's due, and I'm doing this very grudgingly. But he does know how to film things. But
Really?
he cannot tell a story to save his fucking life.
No.
But basically, he's a director. He's watched a ton of movies and gone, oh, that's a good shot. I'll nick that. I'll lift that shot from that one there, and that'll work. And that'll get so far. But he has no grasp of character or narrative. And for me, The Sweeney, it just sat there like a turd in the toilet that won't flush away. Just laying there like a crippled nuclear submarine waiting to strike back. It was interminable. It was just people, hey, Jordan Cockney, Bentley, can't, mug, fuck, can't, hey, oh, my little trout and toolbox, bollocks, yeah. And then it finished, and it just nothing.
Toolbox.
Trout and toolbox. What the fuck is this? Are they just making this Cockney shit up as they go along there?
Do you know what this is? Do you know what, Dal? This is the problem. This is what people from up north here when we start doing E by a gum and where's me whippet. You see, this is it. Where's me trout and toolbox? It's like,
So does
fuck.
a trout and toolbox, does that mean fox? Is that what that means? It's a trout and toolbox.
Could
Fox.
be, could be.
Trout. Up the apples and pears. What's that? Hares. Really? What? Yeah. I've got to be honest. I would never pick this in 1,000 fucking years. And the reason I wouldn't, firstly, football. Secondly, hooliganism. Thirdly, Danny fucking Dyer, who has an exact description of his acting ability in his name. It's Dyer. It's terrible. And the problem I have with this film, apart from the fact it really wants to be Train Spotting.
Yeah, done it just.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, does it ever want to be Train Spotting? It wants to be Train Spotting, but it doesn't have anything to say about the culture.
No.
And not that
That's
I'm
true.
not,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. When you watch Train Spotting, and you're following Renton round and all his gang, and he's kind of explaining to you what he's doing, why he's into this stuff. He really loves it, and all the while he's showing you the squalid, rundown world that he's fallen into, which is perpetuating the whole thing of he wants drugs to get out of the world because he's got nothing to live for, but he wants to carry on. Whereas this film goes, I'm a football hooligan. What else you going to do on a Saturday morning? Have a wank, blah, 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 blah. He does it tries to do the choose life, choose telly, choose this, choose that. And it goes, oh yeah, geezer, fucking bleezer. And it gets, and it goes, it doesn't say anything about the culture at all. And then gives you sort of moments where you go, oh, this is going to be the redemption arc, the anxiety attacks, the fact that he doesn't want to do it, the fact that his mate's moving on with this new girl, the fact that his granddad's going to Australia and has a spare ticket, you know.
Mm.
And then by the end, it just goes, nah, bollocks, I always like doing this. What else am I going to do? Because I fucking love it. And it just ends. And you go,
You
Oh.
worthless individual.
literally, we've had 110 minutes in the company of an absolute toolbox. And just like, you're sitting there going, okay, at some point, he's going to turn a corner. At some point, something's going to happen that's going to make him reevaluate what's going on. Or something's going to happen which is going to break the gang up and therefore give him a chance to reevaluate his life. But no, absolutely not.
Worthless
Not one.
journey.
And the granddad has a heart attack because of that fucking skanky mug who puts the stuff up his nose. And by the way, I don't know any of their names. I only found out their names by the end credit sequence, which actually puts the pictures up and goes, "Oh, Fred, or Joe the Hat, or Billy
think
the
it was,
Billy
there
the
was-
Bollocks, or
It
something
was
like that."
Trimbo, Wimbo, Gimbo, Simbo, Flimbo, and
Cuff the
George.
Gibbling Grub.
Got the Gibbling Grub, yeah.
and so, you know, they bully his granddad, and he falls out, and granddad falls out the bus. And then I'm thinking, there's your turning point. And it's like, nah, that doesn't even get mentioned. Never, not once. And you think, right, okay, fine. And then you see the scene where the same coke nutter goes up to a drug dealer and just for no discernible reason beats the fuck out of him and then runs off. And you think, oh, that's going to be the bit that turns the crew over or, you know, fucks things up. Nope.
Nope.
And then you've got this whole thing about Danny Dyer having sex with the rival's sister, or at least attempting to. And you think, oh, that's going to go somewhere. And then you even have Danny Dyer's voiceover go, yeah, little did I know this was the thing that was going to turn the corner. And you think, right, okay, turn the corner. But does anything happen? Nope.
No.
And does the anxiety dream sequence mean anything? Nope. It comes, goes, he gets beaten up in the fucking archway, and we just move on. The whole film just goes, yeah, moves on. It's like a fucking. It's like someone who's been put in remedial school for English, writing in crayon what they think is a cool story.
Yeah.
It literally is someone without a zero amount of intellect on how to frame a story. Threads are just left hanging in the air. There's a whole sub thread of the two bosses of the firm. You know, one's getting muscled out, the other one isn't, and it's
never really comes to fruition, though, does it?
No,
It goes absolutely nowhere.
yeah, it does. Nothing happens. Absolutely, it's 100 minutes of just, well, aren't we cool?
Zero
Because
character development.
zero character development, zero plot progression, zero anything. It literally has nothing happening. And then the one thing that does happen, spoilers, but we're in the spoiler zone. But actually, you know what? No one's gonna fucking watch this.
No.
You get fucking Jeff the Hat with the nose, or Billy the Bollocks, or whatever he's fucking called. He's standing in the toilet. He turns around. He gets shot in the head. Credits roll.
Oh, Zebedee.
Oh yeah, Zebedee.
That's the
it.
one who was in the dream sequence. The one who you see the wound in the head. So,
And what does that mean? What does it mean?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. It literally is. It's like the beginning of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when the guy who's running the bulldozer that's going to go over Arthur Dent's house says, "Do you know how much damage this bulldozer will suffer if it rolls over you, Mr. Dent?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "None at all."
Yep.
And do you know what? That's exactly how I feel about this film. Do you know how much impact this film's going to have on me T-minus 1 day after I watched it? None at all. Because you know what's content? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And half the time, the dialogue, the camera just goes off, looks somewhere else, and just doesn't look at the actors. They're all just talking, and the background noise comes up, and you can't even hear what they're fucking saying. It's like they have no script. So they just went, "Oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Danny, just stand there and talk, and we'll look around the pub a bit."
I think that's what they've done, though. That's
Pretty
how it
much.
comes across.
He is inept in almost a biblical way. You literally think there has to be some divine hand in this, turning around and going, "You know what? I think I could actually, with magic and miracles, I could actually make a perfect film which shows you nothing, tells you nothing, gives you nothing, and actually end up resulting in nothing." And do you know what? You'd go, if someone told me that was made by the devil as the anti-cinema, I'd say, do you know what? I think you're right.
But people that actually partake in this sort of thing will be like, "Oh, they got it so right. They got it so right. We're all there. You're there. I'm there. We're all there. We all wear these clothes as well." You know, they'll see themselves in it.
Yep.
Well, if I may,
they did get it right, because it's a pointless fucking existence, pretty much like this film.
well, I tell you what, if I may, and then I'll leave it all over to you, because otherwise I'll just carry on waffling on. But if I may, my dad, when he was alive, and his cousin Frank,
Yep.
and his wife Brenda and Frank, they are lifelong 100% dyed-in-the-wool Millwall fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
So much so that they've actually been there so long that they've actually got their own special seats that are literally behind the management, right?
Okay.
So the managers go, and if you look up and you see two seats, and there's a lady with these huge glasses on, like looking probably about sort of in her mid-70s, and then there's a guy with almost no teeth with big glasses on sitting right beside her. That's my uncle and aunt, right? Brenda and Frank sitting there, usually with a McDonald's in their lap. Now, I don't know why that's important, but it's worth pointing out. Anyway, they, along with my dad, Millwall supporters since the 1950s. My dad's even in like some promo photo behind like the goal when they scored a goal or something. I don't know. I don't fucking care. The point is, the uncle on my mum's side, who my aunt married, Joe, he's a Chelsea supporter. And his son, Barry, is a Chelsea supporter. So how do you think Saturday afternoons would go when they came round to each other? See, and that's the thing. And this is the thing I find really interesting about this film in some ways, right? I've lived that bit when they're standing across the kids' football pitch, where you've got the one guy on one side.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And the other guy on the other side, and they're just shouting insults at each other while the kids in the middle play. Now, apart from the things being thrown, the fights, the punches being thrown, that is almost an absolute replication of my Saturday afternoons come sort of circa 1981, 82, 83 perhaps. And what I find really funny is, and in this film, and in the case of the Saturday afternoons, is they don't really give a fuck about the football. It's all about using it as an excuse just to shout at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you realise that, the rest of the film turns into bollocks. All the justification, what are you going to do? I'm a man, I'm going to go football. It's like, what? You're not going to football, mate. You're not doing anything. You've literally just given up going out with someone. You've insulted her parents and made it some kind of class thing, which is absolute total nonsense because it just comes out of left field. And then why? Because when he's lying in bed, flicking ash into a plant, he goes, I'm male. It's like, oh, wow. That's so deep. That's so deep.
Yeah.
You're male, and that's why you have to do football, because you're male. What a fucking bellend! They are all, to a man jack of them, a complete bunch of cockends. And there's so much about this film where I just either hated everyone in it, hated the script writing, hated the filmmaking, despised the fucking loy kind of attitude to the whole thing, and then the fact that not a single solitary moment in the film has any consequences, any actions upon it, any progression in the narrative, nothing. It's a load of old fucking wank in it.
Yep.
And you know what? I applaud you, Elton, because I didn't think after some of the films I've picked, like Saturnia, fucking Woman from Mars or whatever the cock that was, I didn't honestly think we could find a film where I just rolled my eyes so much I was actually like a human fruit machine.
Yeah,
But
see,
actually,
now these are the bad films I would choose. Because I wouldn't go for the low rated IMDb, because no one watches that sort of stuff and just everyone rates it. This is one of them movies where I didn't think you guys would like it.
So this was deliberate.
It's not deliberate, but I
You
knew
fucking melt.
No, it's not deliberate, but I know that you guys aren't going to choose this type of movie. You're not going to choose Football Factory.
No.
Number one, it's football. Number two is Danny Dyer.
Yeah. No, I take that, and I appreciate you putting it on the docket. That's why there's four of us picking. But and do you know what? I'm glad I've seen it, because I at least understand where I'm coming from with it now, as opposed to just looking at it and going, I could do without this. But now I know I've seen it, and I know I could really fucking do without this. Anyway,
okay. I didn't mind Danny Dyer in this. I don't mind him as a bloke. I've got no problems in. I know he's made some shit out there. He's made some fairly good stuff sometimes as well.
I still think he was very good in Rivals.
I haven't seen that yet. There is also another film with Scully. What's her name? Gillian Anderson. That I thought he was very good in. I forget the name of it, but
Yeah. No, that's an old film as well.
yeah, but I thought that was really, really good. Oh, I thought
back
he was
in the
really
90s.
good in it.
Yeah.
So I will give him. I think he's the best thing about this movie. I don't think he's particularly fantastic in it, but I think he's the best thing in it. But the problem is, it's you're right. There is no real direction of it. There's no going into. You could go into like the mob mentality. You could go into the structure of gangs, and if they have a structure, if they don't, why are there rivalries? Who are your biggest rivalries? Where would you do it? Why would you do it like this? Why would you be covert? Why would you join it up in 6 or 7 packs going through the streets just to meet up in one place? Because there was nothing behind explaining what was going on. They were just, get round the corner and we'll meet up with you later. And then you walk around the corner and you're like, all right, geezer. Oh, yeah, I ain't seen you for 30 seconds.
I know why. I know why that one. They were heavily influenced by Michael Jackson's Beat It. Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
You said, that's it. Same thing. I did. It was an unwritten thing. It was an unsaid thing, but I could just tell.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand you coming from a different direction and maybe like trying to, there's a coordination in the battle, but you have a battleground that they do. But it's there's so many things that you could have gone along with, and yet none of them were chosen at all.
No.
Well, Nick Love, I did, when I was looking at some reviews of this, just, he said, well, I'm making a film about, working class and lower middle class culture and talking about, and portraying a world that no one else has. I thought, well, that's all very well, Nick, but you've actually captured none of it or told us anything about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you watch a film like Away Days, that's a brilliant film about soccer hooliganism, The Firm, Identity.
Yep.
All of these, you get a sense of the world and what it's about. And, you know what I mean? This, it's kind of, the time it's set is kind of, there's like a culture class in football hooliganism. Because you've got the older guys like Harris and Billy Bright, were kind of they're the old lags who've been doing this since the 70s, and all bother boots, donkey jackets. But then you've got like of Danny Dyer, all younger. Well, they used to call this week, it's called the young dressers. And they're doing football fanzines, they're into the music, they're into the drugs. They're actually got other interests other than football and fighting. And they're all wearing the Burberry, the Stonewall, whatever. Not Stonewall, Stone Island. You know what I mean? They're into the fashion as well, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, actually, that was the demise of soccer hooliganism, because all that generation got into ecstasy and they gave up on the fighting.
Yeah.
And that, more than any police effort, fucking fucked football hooliganism up forever, was fucking Acid House. But, this kind of, this film, it wanted to be a football working class train spotting.
Yeah.
This was what it should have been going into. Yeah. And that culture clash between, because it was hinted at, because he's got like Billy who's his bully, but then there's, there's younger kids who are just little scallies and chavs, and then people like Danny, who are the young dresser sorts. Fuck off, mate, I'm wearing Prada, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a culture clash for the solar hooliganism almost.
Yeah.
But the other thing this film does, the fucking voiceovers, Jesus, it's a classic. They always say in film school, don't use voiceovers. And I always think that's unfair, because voiceovers used well are brilliant.
Yeah.
Like Taxi Driver.
Yes.
But this is exactly why they have that rule in film school, because he's telling you stuff rather than the film showing you stuff.
Yeah. But he isn't even telling you. But he isn't even telling you something that's actually worth knowing.
Now, here's to use a phrase from one of my old lectures. He is wallowing in the obvious.
Yeah, he's made straight for the center of the periphery. I mean, it's going nowhere. But yeah, sorry. Carry on, Jim. Sorry.
And I mean, and as for the dialogue, I mean, I know it has to be true to life, and I know this is how these people talk. But it was the same phrases over and over again. I mean, if you cut out every time someone said, "Are you mugging me off?" this film would be shot by half an hour.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Take.
And it's just kind of, come on, you can't just keep them saying the same lines again and again and again in every other scene. You got to think of something else for them to say. Which for someone, I'm documenting the fucking struggles of the working class. Yeah, you don't know the working class. You've not met them because you can't actually think of anything else they say. Are you mugging me off? Oh, that's worth a pony to me. Ooh, well, maybe a chimp at the most. Ooh, fuck off.
Oh,
But weirdly, they
I'll
did.
give you a couple of tortoises, my final fucking offer.
couple of tortoises.
Weirdly, they did get, even though all these characters are shit and shocking, some of them are in real life. That's the thing that I took away from it. And it's, like the Zebedee guy who you just want to pound into the face constantly. You want him to receive the cricket bat round the head. You want him to have the bullet in the head, which he does. He's just an annoying little shit who has no reference in the world whatsoever. He thinks he's the Billy Big Balls, and he's clearly not. And he tries and gives it, and he ends up on the wrong end of it. But I've met all these characters before. I've seen all the drug taking before as well, and it's just it's a hideous thing. So I would say they got kind of that right with the characters, but only because I think they're playing off on what everyone sees as a stereotype. But unfortunately, I have seen these characters around before as well.
Yeah.
And it's just I feel all scummy just even thinking about them, because I'm so glad I don't do any of that ever again. It's just seeing people just blatantly taking drugs right in the middle of the pub. I've seen that loads of times.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh, fuck off. Why do you need to do that? Because they want to be seen as the big person. When really they're and once they've taken it, all they do is just talk and talk and talk. You're like, shut the fuck up. You're a bunch of wankers.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say they got some of the characters right, but you're right.
Yeah.
Also, with like the girlfriend turning up, or she dresses smartly and she's got a bit of a posh accent. Oh yeah, she must be middle class then, and I'm working class. I don't want to go middle class. Well, what's the problem in trying or not trying? Everyone is allowed to try what they want to try, but
But I didn't get. See, the problem is I see things like that and I just think, what's it trying to say? Is it trying to say that the working class are being looked down upon by middle class or something like that? In which case, okay, but there's no evidence of that in the
way it's
film.
portrayed in this, I go, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because his boyfriend's little coked up screech about, he's like kicking people's heads in is better than you in your suburban hell. And, it's kind of the real lesson is, well, young man, actually, I have a quite fulfilling life. I earn a good money. I have a job I love. I read books. I go to the opera. I can speak 6 languages. I holiday in Tuscany. I'm not drinking cheap lager and kicking people's heads in because that's the only thing I can think of fucking doing with my life, you little sad turd.
Yeah.
And he's complete, he's kind of... That's what it doesn't address, is it's kind of... they think that you say, this is all we've got in life. And it's kind of... Well, it's not though, is it? You can have a lot more. It's just you're too stupid. You don't even like the football this is associated with. That's how crap you are as a human being.
Yeah.
It's not a winning argument for winning sympathy with these people.
Well,
it's more a winning argument for just exterminating them like rats.
See, it avoided like even going into stadiums and even like the heated confrontations in the stadiums. I've been into the Millwall Stadium.
Oh yeah,
a couple of times. That is not a pleasant place to be.
You don't say.
Yeah, that is such a weird place. When we went, oh God, was it? I think it was probably around this sort of time. Maybe a little, no, because this was 2004, so we would have had Jacob by then. So maybe a couple of years, maybe like the turn of the century. Yeah, that was not a fun place. That was, it's just the people there. Just hideous and horrible. The atmosphere as well. But none of that was brought into this. You could have had something along them lines of the atmosphere and, you know, the confrontation in the stadiums and outside the stadiums. Yes, it would cost a bit more to actually shoot inside the stadiums, but they got plenty of seats. In Millwall, we were put up to the top tier.
Yeah.
The bottom tier was empty. They wouldn't have anyone in the bottom tier because they didn't want you throwing stuff onto the people below you. But, you know, there were plenty of seats in there, so there's no reason why they couldn't have used that at all.
Yeah. And then the seats ended up being used as garden furniture when
there
everyone
you go,
nicked it. Right, Dal.
Yes.
You've been very quiet and been very patient, and we do appreciate it.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You know,
'Cause-
got to let people get it out there, and you know.
And now I feel like I should sit back and we should clear the decks and allow you your cathartic ranting, because you said in the green room that there was some stuff that this film did a double bubble on you.
Yeah, it's.
You have the floor.
I have the floor. Right, it's just going to be me saying "Can't" for 15 minutes. Okay, that's all it's going to be. Right,
That's almost a speed run of the entire film, isn't it?
it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's part of the film. Right, so I used to live in that area. Okay, now getting near the end of the film,
Bermondsey area, isn't it?
Bermondsey area. Yep.
Chelsea.
My local station used to be Surrey Docks, which turned into Surrey Quays. Right. It was a shithole before that. Before they tried to buff it up a
Gentrify
bit.
it, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Well, they changed they built the big shopping centre in Surrey Quays and stuff like this. Before that, there was nothing there. Right. It was just Surrey Docks, and there was like standard suburban shit everywhere. Now, getting near the end of that film, there is a bit where they come to a bridge with spikes on it, right? And, you know, they've got kids looking at it and they walk across that bridge. I used to cross that bridge to go to school in the morning. Used to go to Deptford Park School. Because I used to live in a place called Oldfield Grove, which is over the other side of that bridge. And
Yep.
if they turned the camera around, you would have seen the tower block that I used to live in.
Nice.
Which was right there. You can't see it there because at the time they were breaking the tower blocks, and there were 3 big blocks. I think it was 3 big blocks in that area, and you could see that they've partially demolished one in the film, and they were doing it there. There used to be like a pub there. There was a just over the back of it. There used to be like a nursery school. There was a tuck shop just a little way away from that, with it built on the side of a church. So yeah, I spent the first part of my life around that area. So that was quite. It's like, why are you bringing me back to this area in this film? For fuck's sake, you fucking arseholes.
Yep.
But yeah, every single character in the film is virtually the same. It's every single one of them. There's no real discernible difference between any of them. They're all the same stereotype. But then again, I say stereotype. Actually, those people with that kind of attitude, the way they carry themselves.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Yeah, I could get you a cream for that. There's those sort of people where they do the Pesci, right? They do the Joe Pesci thing. What are you looking at? Oh, yeah, you're trying to make me look like a cunt, are you? I'm going to stab you in the face. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just having a bit of a laugh. Do you know what? I didn't laugh once throughout that film.
No.
I stood there. I started it on. I was in the living room and I started pressing play on this. And I thought, I'll watch it as I'm just doing 1 or 2 bits and bobs. Nothing too, it's going to take my attention too much away from it. As soon as I pressed play and it started playing, I just stood there rigid watching this film. It was just so uncomfortable to watch, just because of the sort of people I've had run-ins with in the past who did that, pretended to be your friend, and actually no, they were doing it to take the piss out of you. And every single fucking frame of that is just bullying. Every single bit of it. How anybody can find that kind of fucking lifestyle interesting or want to live that, I don't know. Why would you want to keep looking over your shoulder every 2 seconds? Why have you always got to be aggressive? Why have you always got to be wanting a fight? Why have you always got to be trying to be the big man? What is the point of all this? Is that what your sad little life has come to? Did you reach your potential way back at primary school? Is that it? Is this it for you now? Were you just coasting from then on? You know? Because you weren't going to improve or anything. This is your life now. You reached, by the time you got to 12, that was it. That was your pinnacle. That was the best you got to, and it's just gone flatline all the way across from there for you lot, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yep.
You fucking monkeys. Honestly.
I mean, it is interesting that you sit there and you think, why? What is the point of all of this?
There's no point. There's no point at all.
No.
The journey is fucking pointless throughout that entire film. Is it worth it? Of course it fucking is. And it's like you've had the universe literally telling you, you know, change your ways, Tommy.
Yeah.
Change your ways. Do this.
Yep.
Yeah. Do that. You know, just get out. Granddad, look at, you know, two of the only characters I had any kind of feel for in that were the two old blokes, right? That was his granddad and his mate, right?
Yeah.
Because you see how this is one of the interesting things about this film. It was the only interesting thing about this film for me was where you had people who are alive now who've never fought in a world war, who were like, "Oh, you fought in a world war, sir? Yeah, such an honour to be with you. Yeah, that's right. It's all them people with dark skins that are the problem, isn't it? Yeah, that's right." And you see the two old blokes listening to that cab driver, just looking between one another.
Yep.
And it's when the granddad has a chat with him, and it's like I could see where I thought, I really hope that this is going to go where I think it is, and it's that discrepancy between what the modern individuals think fighting in World War II was about and what it actually was, and the people that were there, and they were like, we fought against people like you know, who wanted to do this kind of thing, who wanted to wipe everybody out, who wanted to take anybody that wasn't a white individual and just take them out of the game, right? That's it. You know, and what have we got? What did we fight for? Fuck all. You see, the Germans the Nazis themselves didn't need to invade. They just needed to wait about 30 or 40 years and the job would have been done for them.
Yep.
That's it. I know this is getting a bit political now, but this film shows that in there, right? This has got layers of that in it. What was the point? What was the point of those young men dying during World War II? Because this is what we got. This is the culture that, this is what this is saying.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that, that whole thing of, you know, you obviously didn't fight in World War II because your attitude is this.
Yeah.
You know? Now look at these two old men. They're like, we fought against people like this. This is that we tried to stop this, but look what's happened.
Yeah.
And that for me was the only pinpoint of light in this film.
Also, they've been to war and probably don't want to fight ever again.
Exactly.
And yet these lads are going out for a fight because, you know, there's nothing on TV.
Oh, we're warriors, aren't we? You know what I mean? Like, we're geezers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're tough, aren't we? These fucking plastic gangsters, a fucking lot of them.
But that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem that's at the heart of the film that it doesn't explore, which is why is everyone doing these things? Why are they Why are they bigging themselves up? What is, you know, why are they trying to act like hard nuts when the real hard nuts are the ones who don't say anything and have been to actual war? And it doesn't explore any of it. It just says a bit of a laugh, innit? And then, you know, and the ultimate result is, yeah, and I wouldn't change a fucking thing. It's just like, really? Oh, okay. So you're perfectly happy with the way things are. You have no revelation. What was the fucking the dream all about then? What was the anxiety bollocks?
Well,
That's it. It's kind of this, like a harbinger of death, of his own death or Zebedee's death, but he didn't really know, so nothing happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it a guilty conscience, or the fear that they was going to catch up with him? But even that was just like, this is bollocks.
But it's
bollocks.
Yeah, it's just an attempt at being profound by someone who doesn't understand how to spell the word profound, let alone fucking write anything that was profound.
You have to wonder to yourself if any of those individuals were caught on a battlefield, dug in a trench somewhere, lying down so they don't get shot with their nose pressed up against somebody's fucking shit on the floor. How would they handle that? How would they handle that situation? Bombs going off all over the place. I bet it wouldn't be half as tough.
No, but they wouldn't. That I guess is part of the thing that the film ineptly tries to illustrate. But
we have that going on today, right? We have that. People. It's that World War II. Yeah, it's the World War II. It's that fucking World War II mentality. When we had that during the pandemic as well. I think.
The keep calm, carry on. Back, we were all, it's so much better back in the day when we were eating powdered onion or whatever the fuck it was.
Because, all them nurses, and doctors and that, they really, really were able to pay all their rent, electricity bill with all those claps that everybody gave them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll admit I was led down a garden path with that unless you thought about it for 2 seconds. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Seriously. Sorry, I've gone off on a fucking tangent with this now. But this is the thing. It's that jingoism. It's that, it's using that the Blitz spirit. The Blitz spirit and fucking
wartime spirit.
Exactly. And fucking turning it into something else that it isn't. That wasn't the Blitz spirit. People didn't do that back then. All right, fine. You still had people who, try to screw people over for a place in the queue. I'm sure you did. It wasn't perfect, but you didn't have people running around football hooliganism like this, just trying to big themselves up, trying to make themselves look like a warrior caste when they're not. They're just a bunch of thugs beating the shit out of one another. It's like watching slabs of meat in a meat locker suddenly come to life and fucking just go into one big boxing match. That's all it is. That's about all they're intelligent as.
I would have said the better metaphor is actually, when in the morning before I go out.
Yep.
I go into the garden.
You walk down the Millwall. You start a ruck. No.
Went down. Yeah, start a ruck. Have a bit of Barney.
Yep.
And then I'll have a cup of tea and then head on into the pub. No, what I do is before I leave, we got a bird table out in our garden.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you say bird table, you actually mean bird table, not a fucking bird table.
Yeah, not a bird, not my bird table.
That bird table.
I got a table for me bird. No, I haven't got. No, not that.
Table for two, very nice. Suits you, sir.
Suits you, sir. Yeah, my bird's outside on the table. Anyway, no, I've got like a feeding station for birds.
A feeding station.
Yeah, I know. I'm calling it a feeding station because I'm trying to get round the bird table bit before we get too hung up on it.
I had a bird shit on my car once and a riot scratched the bonnet really badly.
Yeah, you should have just picked it up, rolled it up, and then lit it.
Exactly.
Brassed it out. Anyway, so
bird feeding table. Feeding station.
Yes. So I go out there before I leave for work, put the seed in different trays. Yeah.
I bet you no, sorry.
No, don't. Steady. And when I close the door, as soon as I close the door, all the pigeons and all the birds in the area, they hear that door close, they're down like fucking rocket. Yeah?
Yep.
Now, the pigeons all come in on one single plate, right? Which is probably about the size of a cup. I mean, it's tiny.
Yeah.
And they all smash into it and they fight like fucking mental over this tiny little saucer of seed. Yeah.
Mhm.
In the meantime, and I see it every single day, and it's not like fucking Country Watch. I'm just sitting there waiting for my kettle to boil. But I'm looking out the garden, and in the meantime, the magpies
Yep.
come in, look at that lot, going completely bananas, strut around the garden, pick a couple of nice monkey nuts up, and then go, yeah, I'm off now, bye. And they shoot off. And the robin comes in, looks at the pigeons and goes, the fuck is going on here? Goes around, picks away at some of the peanuts and the sunflower seeds that I leave out, and he fucks off. The jay comes in, does the same. And then the bloody raven and the crow come in and pick out a bit of little leftover meat or fat balls that I've left out, and they all come in and everything. Meanwhile, these 20 pigeons are beating the shit out of each other over a handful of seed on a saucer that's probably about the size of your fist. And they're all sitting there thinking like, well, we got to get the food. Meanwhile, every other bird from a parakeet to a robin has come in, had a perfectly lovely time, strutted around my garden, had a couple of bits of bobs, picked out the food they wanted and fucked off. That is this football factory. That is it in a nutshell. It's watching all these pigeons feeling like they've done something when actually they are a bunch of idiots all smashing into each other over the smallest fucking thing that nobody else cares about. Meanwhile, the rest of the world gets on with it, has a perfectly lovely time. Meanwhile, all these pigeons are sitting there going, oh, fucking hell, need that little bit of seed. I'm having a Barney.
You know what? That would have made the film a damn sight more interesting had they all suddenly turned into pigeons.
Yeah.
Wow, now that'd be an end.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. It was all a dream inside the head of Percy Thrower.
There you go.
But no, it sums it up perfectly. It is literally a bunch of idiotic pigeons smashing into each other in the smallest possible space while the rest of the world just goes on around them, completely ignoring them. And they're acting like, they've succeeded in some way. And that's this film in a nutshell.
Yep.
It feels like it's trying to be profound and feels like it's trying to say something important when ultimately it's not. And the only people who give a shit are the people who it's trying to portray. And they would just be like, yeah, that's fucking right. That's exactly what my life is like, innit? And they'd be like, fuck off. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody. Tomorrow, you'll be in prison, and then everyone else will still be watching the football or the footy, and then the world will move on, and then there'll be another football match, and another bunch of Burberry hatted cunts going around going, oi, oi, fucking have it.
Bruv.
So yeah, bruv. So all in all, fucking wasted time. Horrible, horrible film filled with horrible, horrible people with terrible, terrible writing. And piss poor fucking story.
Yep.
But on the plus side, I got my metaphor about my pigeons in, which I wrote earlier on. So there you go. So all in all, it's not been a complete failure. Has anyone else got anything else they'd like to add?
No, I think it's all been covered, really.
Yeah.
Cool. I would like to just say as well, just as a final thing on it, Elton, don't ever stop picking these kind of random left field films, because we wouldn't pick them, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, as much as I hated this film, I now know that why I hate this film, and I feel more informed for knowing that.
Cool.
There you go. So keep on.
Yep.
You keep on.
Let's not say that we don't, have a wide range of movies that we pick from to watch.
Indeed. So out there in the real world, what do you think? Do you want to leave a bit of note? Do you want to leave a note? Do you want to tell us? Do you want to pass us? You want to pass the message along? Do you want to send up a flare? You want to let us know? You want to send something in? Then by all means, send it in.
Uh,
You know how.
Drop us a
Elton.
bag.
Elton,
Yes.
can I just say, first of all, though, last of all, that I know we said keep picking these films, but I don't want to see you suggesting a Craig Fairbrass fucking season. All right, okay.
No, but
No.
there is a sequel of this film in the
Oh.
making.
Oh, goody.
Yes, there
Making?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What, they're,
Yep.
what, now, as in...
Mm-hmm.
Last year they were filming it.
Inside the football factory with Paddy McGuinness.
I think Danny Dyer's in it, isn't he?
Not like it, not like it.
All right, no like it. Booking smart. Booking geniuses. Right. Okay. But anyway, yes, leave a message, let us know, send us in some feedback if you have any for this film in the usual channels. Right. Before we let drop the phrase that pays, let's find out what we're going to have next week as a film. Jim, this is your pick for next week. What are you bringing to the table? And if you say Green Street Green, I'm cutting you off.
I was looking for Away Days, which I think is the best football hooligan film, but it's not on streaming anywhere, so we don't get. Here's how not to do it. Here's how to do it. As a contrast, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
I did toy with picking Civil War because I think probably should watch that before it gets too topically tasteless. But frankly, I can't quite face it this week, to be honest.
No.
So instead, I'm going to pick a film which it is on Disney and Amazon Prime and ITVX, I believe, and Tubi. It's a film I've not seen. I've always meant to get around to see it. I never have. From 2010.
Yeah.
Directed by Gareth Edwards.
Oh,
Not a rugby player.
No.
And, thankfully. And it is Monsters.
Oh.
well.
Nice.
Well, there you go. So, yes, Gareth Edwards' Monsters. Interesting. Cool. Let's go around the table. Have you seen this film, Elton?
Yes, I have.
Nice. Okay. Darren, have you seen this film?
Yes, I have. And yeah, really
Okay.
enjoyed it. It was good.
Okay. And I have seen this film. And you obviously haven't, Jim.
No, for some reason, I've never managed to get around to seeing it. For
Right.
whatever reason. Just one of those things I've been meaning to see it for ages. And then I saw it was on stream and thought, perfect.
Cool. Well, between this and the creator, I think all we've got to do now is Star Wars Rogue One, and we've done all of Gareth Edwards' movies. Brilliant. Okay, well then we shall be watching Monsters, which is, as Jim rightly points out, on Amazon Prime, on Tubi, and if you're in the UK, on ITVX. Which is okay if you don't mind having adverts for funeral homes all the time. But there you go. So cool. We shall be doing that next week. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I haven't seen it since it first came out, actually. So I'm quite interested to see where that goes. Excellent. Okie dokie. Well, before we get on to Pimp's Corner, let's think of a phrase that pays. And I think Chimley has got to be the one.
Chimley.
Chimley.
Not bash the granny out of her.
I'm gonna fuck the bash the granny out of her.
Yeah.
That was such a weird phrase. No one I'd like to think that I've been around quite a few people of the old Kent Road persuasion, and I've never once in my life heard anyone say bash the granny out of her. That's just
Doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just someone trying to sound hard. Fucking get the Viagra and piss off.
Anyway. What's the phrase that pays then?
I don't know, actually. I think Chimley's good start.
Yeah.
Mr. Chimley Warner. I don't know what's wrong with Chimley, but there you go.
It's not the right word for one.
Shush. It's my reality. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, you mug. Let's see what people can come up with there. You mug or you melt. So, if you want to put a picture up on the Facebook group that relates to you mug or you melt, you can pick either one. Or Chimley, if you really want to go for the triple, then by all means do so up on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/the Black Dog Podcast. And you can also leave feedback there. And you can also ask us questions on Asking for Trouble, the thread that's pinned to the top of the board. And if anybody's got anything to replace Facebook or a forum software they can recommend, that would be useful as well.
Yeah,
I'm thinking Facebook's time may be limited. So yes, we'll leave that there. Right. Let's move on to Pimp's Corner before we leave. So, Jim, what's going on in Hypnagoria land?
I've just released a new episode in my Roger Corman Edgar Allan Poe series, looking at the Premature Burial, which is the only one that doesn't have Vincent Price in it, but does have Ray Milland. So,
oh right, Are you sure? Are you sure Vincent Price isn't prematurely buried?
No. That's just...
So not appearing in this movie.
No, that happens to be in the Oblong Box, which is a bit later on.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, cool. And that's over at hypnagoria.com.
It is indeed.
Lovely. And what about you, Elton? What's happening over at Rogue 2?
I am talking about the Pacific on the Band of Brothers podcast. We have recorded the last episode. I haven't put it out yet because of dishwasher problems and that getting in the way of things. But
interferes with all podcasts, dishwasher.
Yeah, so real life gets in the way every now and again, and it's free medium. You can have your money back if you wish. I don't mind. If there's something out, then it'll be out. The normal places to have a look.
Excellent. Go over to rogue2media.com. Keep an eye on that. Excellent. And like I say, I'm not promoting anything other than this, but if you want to follow me on Blue Sky, you can find me over at cartoonbeardy.bsky.social. Is it B-Sky Social? I can never remember what the fucking thing's called. What am I now? Where am I? B-Sky Social. There you go. bsky.social at cartoonbeardy@bsky social. So, yeah, go over there. Look me up. I'm the little pink toilet tube man with the beard stuck to it. And I'm putting pictures up there. Not putting them really on Facebook. I don't feel like feeding the fucking algorithm too much, to be honest. And that's that. So we'll be over there. Darren, have you got anything you want to promote?
No, nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing
Brilliant.
at all.
Excellent. So, right, we'll leave it there. So, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
No problem.
And stay safe, stay upbeat, stay cheerful, and stay hydrated. And otherwise, fucking have it, you mugs. Until next time, take care. Tatty bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-da.
Fucking have it.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on.
I already came for a kebab.